What's up everyone, BJ Wizard back for another video. Today we're taking a look at 6v6 rated battlegrounds as the potential next game mode coming into World of Warcraft. So if we take a look at the brawls, right now it's Wrathy Blizzard, but there has been a Deep 6 brawl, which was 6v6. And from my understanding, Solo Shuffle was in this brawl format. It tested Solo Shuffle here, and then later on it was put into the game. So keep that in mind. Solo Shuffle was there first, and then they put Solo Shuffle into the game. So let's just, for the sake of this video, let's just imagine that 6v6 is the next game mode coming to World of Warcraft. Okay, so let's dive into it. The first thing we would have to know is if you count the brackets right, Solo Shuffle, 2v2, 3v3, and 10v10. There's already 4 brackets. You would not want to have 10v10 and 6v6. So for the sake of this video, I know a lot of us have a long-standing attachment to 10v10. We love 10v10. But if they were to put 6v6 in the game, they would have to axe 10v10, take 10v10 out of the game. Okay, so let's just imagine 6v6 is coming into the game, 10v10 is going out of the game. Okay, so the first option, this is what I think the best option for 6v6 is group queue, meaning you can do exactly what you do now with 10 versus 10, where you form your group with 6 players, and then you would queue up. So what's needed for that? So new maps, smaller, at least 3. I believe that Temple plays in 6v6 Temple. So I've actually played 6v6. I've played it and I've seen it in tournaments. So I have a little bit of background on this. I think Temple spawns with 2 orbs. So that's one map. There's a smaller Warsong Gulch version. I believe Silver Shard Mines works with it, and Gilneas works with it. So there's potentially 4 maps that already work. Now, if they put it in a new game mode, you would hope that as a $77 billion company or whatever they're worth, they would make a new map if they put in a new game mode. But hey, even if they don't, there are at least 3 or 4 that I believe work with 6v6. So yeah, so you would need new maps. They're smaller versions for 6v6. So with that, then next we would need new rewards. So rewards for leaders is a big one that I'm going to touch on in the next slide. But rewards for leaders, and then rewards for players, new version of a hero title, and a different variation of Glad mount, or its own unique mount. So if you think about solo queue, I think they did, what is it? It's called the Crimson Soloist, I think, or something like that. So just same thing in 6v6. I think, you know, you would just want some new titles, a new title set entirely for 6v6. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So I think this is the best option, having groups play 6 versus 6, the exact same way you do with rated battlegrounds right now, just 6v6. And the last thing we need to know is one tank. The group composition would be 1 tank / DPS, 2 healers, and 3 DPS. Okay. Now, one thing to note is, you know how in solo queue right now, if you're a DPS, you wait like 20 minutes, and everybody knows it's because of the healers. There's a lack of healers. So if you're a healer, you get an instant queue, and if you're a DPS, you wait a long time. So one thing I was thinking about is if there's no flag maps, it reduces the need for a tank. I love Capture the Flag, and if you think of like esports, everybody knows what Capture the Flag is. But like, trust me, I love Warsong Gulch. I love Twin Peaks. But if you did take out the need for a tank by making the maps that you play not need a tank, I could see that maybe reducing some wait times. Just something to keep in mind. Plus, you don't want only tank players on maps that don't need it. So if you don't get a flag map, and you found a tank but he only plays tank, and then you get a non-flag map, it would suck to be like down a DPS a whole battleground. This is more for the solo queue aspect, which I'll talk about next, but I just wanted to highlight that point, that if you did take out the need for tanks, that it could help improve queue times. Okay, and then the last thing I want to touch on is they should totally do a weekly or monthly tournament in game. And the winners of the tournament get like a statue in the game for until the next tournament, or they get like a special title. So like for example, if let's just say like right here on our rated tab, there's an extra one right here or like at the bottom, whatever, and you just have your group, you fill a group of 6 people, and then you would literally just hit, maybe it's not join battle, maybe it's just sign up, and it just automatically happens in the game once a month, and you just sign up with your group, and then it just starts the tournament, puts teams against each other, and then the winners win. You know what I mean? I think that would be really cool to put into the game. And like I said, if they got like a statue or like a special title or something, I think it'd be awesome. It takes out the need for a tournament organizer, but it keeps the community engaged. Okay, so this is option B now. Let's talk about 6v6 solo queue. Once again, I want to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think 6v6 should come into the game? Do you want to see it as a solo queue, or do you want to see it as a group queue? Let me know in the comments below. Next, we're talking about solo queue. Really quickly, I do just want to touch on, before I get into solo queue actually, so as a leader, just like in a dungeon where this thing right here, where indicates that you're an experienced player and are comfortable instructing a group in how to overcome encounters. So I think that regardless of if it's solo queue or group queue, doesn't matter, solo queue or group queue, I think they should put one of these in rated battlegrounds. And if you sign up as a leader, you put the group together, or maybe it's solo queue and you draft the team, but regardless, if you're the leader and you get 50 wins in a season, you should get a bronze icon over your head and a title. If you get 100 wins in a season, you get silver. If you get 200 wins, you get gold. And if you get 300 wins in one season as a leader, you should get a platinum icon above your head and a title for it. I think that would really incentivize people to start making groups, and you'd see a lot more groups. Now let's get into the solo queue part. And again, this leader reward ties into both group queue and solo queue. So if we're playing solo queue, you need the same amount of maps. We already covered that. Regardless of if it's group queue or solo queue, you still need maps that are smaller. Rewards, you would still need rewards. So I think in terms of solo queue rewards, you would want to do individual class ladders and rankings. But same thing, you would still want a new title set and a new mount for that bracket that's unique to that bracket, and then rewards for leaders. And then group composition would remain the same, right? You would want you would still want the exact same 1 tank / DPS, 2 healers, and 3 DPS. However, just especially with solo queue, keep in mind this is where I think that tank thing comes into play a little bit more. If there was no flag map, you would reduce the need for a tank, and also you would reduce games where like a tank gets in a game but then there's no flag map. Like if a tank gets in a game that's not a flag map, and then all of a sudden one solo queue team is just down a DPS the entire map. So I think that'd be tricky, and I could see removing tanks, or removing the need for tanks, being a little bit better of an idea for solo queue, whereas in group queue, not as much of an issue, but still maybe reduces like the wait time in LFG trying to find one as for group queue. But okay, so the way I think solo queue should work is leaders, 2 leaders get to draft teams out of the pool of 12 people. So it'd be 10 picks. So leader number 1 would draft first, leader number 2 drafts second and third, and then you just rotate from there. And then you would have a team of 6 and 6, similar to League of Legends, and then boom, you just put it, you just start the game. So I think the draft method would be best for solo queue. I think that'd be really, really cool. Um, and that's pretty much the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I really want to hear what the community has to say. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share the video with your friends. Let's get talking about 6v6. It's important to hear everybody's ideas. So let me know let me know. Just drop a comment. What's up with 6v6? Should we do group queue? Should we do solo queue? Are you worried about waiting 25 minutes for a queue? Because solo shuffle, I think the math is the same, right? The math would be the same because each team needs 2 healers and 4 DPS, right? So that's the same as solo shuffle. The math is the same for each team, right? Each team of 6. So you'd still be waiting like 25, 30 minutes for these healers. So is solo queue even a good option? Do we really want another game mode that we have to wait that long just to play the game? Or can we just do group queue and fire it up? Fill a group and queue up. I'm leaning towards group queue, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.